Class 9 History Chapter 1 The French Revolution. Today we are going to study about the next topic, that is the abolition of slavery. Till now we had seen that what were happening in French Revolution, what was the condition of female. Now we are going to see about the slavery. On that time, the French colonies were in the Caribbean, that was Martinique, Guadeloupe, and Saint Domingo. So they all were the important suppliers of important products. They were tobacco, indigo, sugar, and coffee. So these all were the important products which France country they were getting from this islands, and this all island were the under control of French. They all were the colonies of French. So inside this area, they were doing cultivation of tobacco, indigo, sugar, and coffee, and these all were transferred towards exported to the French country. On that time, the Europeans were not willing to work. They don't want to go so far and work in such an unknown land. So this type of thinking came in their mind, and they started living in these all jobs, those who were doing cultivation in these all islands. And this all created problem for that place. And they needed more workers for doing cultivation in that field land surface. For this all created shortage of the laborers on the plantation area. When this all problems started creating in that condition, the solution came. This resulted in the beginning of the triangular slave trade, Europe, Africa, and Americans. So these all are the different continents, those who were doing trading of the slave, and due to this they were solving their problem. So the slave trade began in the 17th century. So finally it was this known as triangular. The reason was this: it was between these three different continent. One was African, another Europe, and the third one is American. So they all make a triangular like shape. That's why it's known as triangular slave trade. And this came just to solve their Caribbean problems in their plantation area. On that time, French merchants, it means I'm talking about the navy people on that time from France, they used to sail their boat from that area to the port of Bordeaux, or you can say Nantes, to the African coast, where they used to collect the slaves from that place. They used to ask slaves from the local chieftains, and this they used to sell the slaves in a good amount of slave were used to be is sold at that place. So these French merchants buy is slaves from these chiefmen, and they used to carry all their the slaves in their ship. It was totally packed, like the all people were tightly connected to each other, that nobody can run or anybody can go outside. So everybody was planned way. So they all were totally packed, and this used to get inside the ship, and they travel for 3 months long for reaching at the Atlantic to the Caribbean place. So it took total 3 months to reach there from Africa to the Caribbean place. After reaching there, the French merchants, they used to sell their slaves to the plantation owners, and that owner, they used to buy these all slaves for doing their plantation work. So Caribbean Sea on that time, it was the great place, or great, it was in demand for the France for completing his whatever the important things those were coming from that place, especially for the sugar, coffee, indigo. These all were the main things those were coming from that areas, and that's the reason this Caribbean was a much more important place for the France on that time. In 18th century in France, everyone were against of this slavery condition, and they were just want to stop this slavery. But still at the last, like in National Assembly also, they discussed about the slaves, it is good or not. But there was no any positive response came. The reason was this: this mainly the rich person, they were getting profit from this, and they don't want to lose this profit, and that's why they were not stopping this slavery. When we will see the Checoslovakian government, when they came, even though they had also not passed any law against this slavery, they had not stopped the slavery. The reason was this: that they don't want, they were getting so many profit due to this slave trade. But in 1794, Convention Assembly that bans the slavery, they free the slavery. They've given the order to just leave the slavery as a get let them be free now. So finally, just But after 10 years, this Napoleon again started the same slavery things. But finally, in 1848, slavery things were totally end in France. Thank you.